What are some completely random and useless facts? The owl cannot move its eyes the way we do. They are fixed with bones inside its sockets, so it has to move its entire head, and baby owls have such a disproportionately large head that they sleep lying face down on the ground. Interesting. Dogs do the poop stare because taking a dump makes them feel vulnerable and they want to make sure you are keeping an eye on them. If a male lion gets hurt, its mane will kinda recede as the injury leads to kind of feeling down, which reduces testosterone levels, which in turn affect the mane growth, hence why some female lions will grow a mane if their testosterone levels are higher. Due to this, they will avoid a fight if their opponent has a big long mane, as this suggests the opponent is strong and has been undefeated for a while. Nature is amazing. There are elections in Russia. They are useless. The sun's diameter is about 400 times larger than that of the moon, and the sun is also about 400 times farther from Earth, so the sun and moon appear nearly the same size as seen from Earth. Bangladesh is smaller than Wisconsin or Missouri, but has population of 161 million. That Uranus can spread out to 7 inches and a raccoon can go into a 4-inch hole, meaning you can put 1 3/4 of a raccoon up Uranus. He said useless, will come in handy when you need to smuggle 1 3/4 of a raccoon. Crocodiles are more closely related to birds than other reptiles. It takes a full 3 rotations to remove the human head due to the elasticity of skin. Humans are the longest running species aside from one animal. We can run down any animal, eventually catching up over vastly long distance. We and one other creature can run a marathon. That other creature, sled dogs, specifically bred to run, but they can't outrun each other in their ideal environment. Humans outrun sled dogs in the savannah, but sled dogs outrun humans in the tundra. Flowers without smells usually last longer than the fragrant ones. Pigs come for 15-20 minutes, with one outlier even coming for 30 minutes. There are around 300 million street lights in the world. The spot patterns on whale sharks are as unique as fingerprints. The surface area of the moon is a little less than the combined area of North America and South America. Oxford University is older than the Aztec Empire. Your car keys have traveled further than your car. London's Big Ben and its chimes illustrate the difference between the speed of light and sound. Stand by the base of the Elizabeth Tower and you will hear the bell's chimes about 1/6 of a second after the bell is struck. Those listening to a live transmission of the bell by radio, however, will hear the bells before you. You can observe the same thing watching a baseball game from the outfield, and listening to the announcer on the radio. Not even the radio part. You can hear the crack of the bat significantly later than you see the hit. The last inhabitants of the Eastern Roman Empire, often called Byzantine, lived far closer to the moon landing than to the last inhabitants of the Western Roman Empire. Cleopatra lived closer to modern day than to the time when the pyramids were built. The Romans are as ancient to us as the pyramids were to the Romans. In fact, woolly mammoths had not gone extinct when they were being built. That Rex lived closer to our time than to the time when the Stegosaurus still existed. Cracks Kunkel's My Time to Shine. Sperm whales have 2 types of sleep. A nap, which is vertical and underwater, head up or head down, is based on the whale's personal preference, and their deep sleep, which is trolling along the surface of the water. 2 beluga whales sound like canaries. 3 dogs and cats cannot move their jaws side to side like we can, only up and down. 4 March 26, 2021 Prince Julian Herbert Folk was born into the Swedish royal family. 5 Austrians generally dislike the sound of music because most Americans think Edelweiss is their national anthem because of the movie. 6 Germans do not cross the road unless the cross sign is displayed on the traffic light, even if there are no cars around. 7 There is a fungus, Cordyceps unilateralis, that kills insects and takes over their bodies. Think zombie ants. 8 There were actually 3 types of Viking berserker: the berserker bear warrior, the LFH Nar Wolf Warrior, and the Jafur Bora Warrior. These three groups were likely cults. They wore the furs of their associated animals into battle to be identified, as they took a hallucinogenic Hyoscyamus niger that set them into a killing spree. In this state, known as Berserker Gang, they could not identify friend or foe. They would attack everything, so the skins warned people to stay away from them. 9. 1 cigarette shaves off roughly 10 minutes of your life. 10. Caffeine is considered a psychoactive drug. Horses masturbate by slapping their wangs against their stomach. If I could, I would. A volcano in the Philippines is on a lake within a lake that is surrounded by an island that is also surrounded by a lake that is surrounded by the mainland. You cannot say hum while holding your lips and nose. Sharks have existed as a species longer than trees. Male wolves masturbate by coiling themselves and sucking their own dongs. A barcode scanner does not scan the black bars but the white spaces between. The guy who wrote the Peanut Butter Jelly song was murdered in a police shootout. The only mosquitoes that draw blood are females, hunting for a protein-rich meal for her eggs. Mosquitoes hunt by seeking out the carbon dioxide we exhale, and it has been shown they prefer type O blood. A large portion of your liver can be cut off, and it will regrow back to normal size. North Korean government has 28 official hairstyles approved, and all men and women in the country have to follow the same hairstyles as other hairstyles are banned. No word rhymes with orange. Out of all the fruit, a banana is more closely related to a human. In 1982, the Motion Picture Academy refused to nominate Tron for the Special Effects Academy Award because they said the movie's use of computer-generated images was cheating. Jumping spiders are able to jump by rapidly pumping their blood into their hind legs. They do this as opposed to using muscles because their anatomy lacks muscles strong enough to jump like they do. Your eyes stay the same size your entire life. The sounds the raptors make in Jurassic Park comes from the sound turtles make when mating. The pattern on the skin around Uranus is as unique as your fingerprint. In Nigeria, calling someone a Dundee United is an insult similar to calling someone stupid or an idiot. Dundee is a city in Scotland and Dundee United are one of the football teams from there. Balto did not actually do the 1925 serum run to Nome. If you have ever watched Toga, you learn what actually happened. Balto was actually a CO leader on a dog team relay, and the reporter thought that Balto did the whole thing. There was a neon light behind wall in Los Angeles restaurant. It was accidentally left on after renovation, and managed to rack $17,000 in unnecessary electricity bills. In the time it takes to listen to the Proclaimers' I Am Gonna Be 500 miles, the International Space Station travels 500 miles, then 500 more. The Pisa genus of fly has species called Pisa cake, Pisa pie, Pisa rhea and Pisa de resistens. Shuttlecocks used in professional badminton are made of feathers from the left wing of a goose. Feathers from the right wing make them spin the wrong way. Norwegians consume 9% of all Pepsi Max produced. Norwegians are the second largest consumers of tacos in the world, after Mexico. Norwegians are the second largest consumers of coffee in the world, after the USA. Norwegians read the most comics in the world, after Japan. There are only 5 million people in Norway. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more of Reddit Universe.